Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too. And all in between, this is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of you, only crossing bigger and better. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I state that Pistis Sophia was a primordial atom, and she split negatively deficient, and through her splitting negatively deficient with positive energy, right, a backfire of polarity, she created all creation of existence to the here and now of reality check. I also state that when all the energy she was negatively went to the neutron of her, okay, or went to the neutron of the atoms, and all the positive energy, which is the protonic energy of us, went to the protons, and it was able to overwhelm the negative of the neutron, because a neutron is never neutral. It's always negatively deficient on the outside of an atom, and is only stabilized by the higher power of the proton on the inside of the atom, bringing its energy level up to keep it stable and good as truth of the shape, form, and mass of the bigger, better, positive energy of an atom. I also state that an atom is not electrically neutral, meaning if this atom doesn't absorb more positive to the charge of it being good as truth, right? Any static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy of it, which is the electron field, okay, then it's always in a constant state of radioactive flux with its neutron, meaning it's neutronic to the reality check of its matter, not being able to bond good with it as truth to express the shape, form, and mass it is in body of its matter. Okay? So all of the charges, the positive and negative charges, they came to the point of the neutron and the proton overwhelmed the neutron, okay? And all of existence was created, but it was created in negative flux, meaning space is infinite, all right? But here's the thing about it. It's infinitely negatively charged, okay? So anything that doesn't come to the point of the neutron yet, right, is that negative charge seeking its way to it, okay? Now, anything protonic as far as energy is concerned, right, has a totally different charge and does not stay static to the reality check of time and space, okay? That's why space has an overwhelming negative charge, but all matter has an overwhelming positive charge, meaning that matter itself is created negatively deficient than energy, but through the energy of the matter, okay, it's made to only be created bigger and better with a more positive charge than the negative deficiency of the matter not being energy. E equals MC squared. The more positive something is, the more good it is as truth. So the first sustainable atom of the good God and truth of Jesus Christ, of all I am, was created, meaning that this atom couldn't be destroyed, okay? And as these atoms came into their own, right, indestructible, they built up to the periodic tables of us, right, to create all existence of reality. But like I said, all of this, right, is in negative flux without being more positive and good as truth to the reality of every shape, form, and mass of existence, to the bigger and better mankind. And without mankind knowing to take all we are of negativity, right, and cross it back one more positive to be good, right, the earth cannot sustain itself wholly more positive than negative to the reality check of it existing in a positive universe of time and space. Now, I've said this before, but I said this about the human body, but I'm going to say this about Mother Earth. She's the core Pistis Sophia. And without us stating her, right, from the reality check of this point, more positive than negative, and growing what's left of her good through us, antibodies of her, okay, more light than matter, right, more positive than negative to keep her good as truth, right? Well, then we're just a bunch of antichrist with matter, okay? And it's toxic to the earth, and it's the flux of all static, twisted, scattered, undefined matter of creation of existence to the reality of mankind. And I'll show you why. As the earth came into its own, and there became an ape species, they might even just been humanoid species like us, okay? But they knew no good truth. So they were female to the reality check of the absolute positives of mankind. Okay, so the energy of God went into them, okay? And most of them destroyed themselves, but one made it to the cavern of woe, okay? And through a orgasmic affair, right, of life happening, brought her to a bigger, better energy state, a more positive energy state than her apely matter or her faithful matter, okay? Because she may have just been a hairy, ugly woman. Who knows? All right, so we're at this point. The first pre-Adamite man of all I am was created through this process, okay? And if you read the Holy Bible, the men of old, okay, they were the God kings. They created the pyramid dynamo around the earth as a true reflection of Mother Earth and God, one together, the same. Positive at every point of time and space, bigger and better than all negativity. Okay, but as time went on, okay, when Adam turned to the faith of Eve, and I really think I've got this down to where it needs to be. If you see anything in prehistory, and I talked about one of the trees of prehistory, where it was a straw tree, right? Well, anything that's a straw, you know, it's got a sucking mechanism to it. Its whole root base and everything was straw, right? And they say the deeper its roots were, the wetter they were. Well, naturally, because it's staying in that water as deep as it gets, not because the water is shallow where the roots are. You see what I'm saying? So it's drawing this water up. But the whole point is in prehistory, this tree was humongous, okay? And they say, well, how could it be humongous and be mostly water, okay? Well, because the species that's left of it now, right, are real small, okay? But anything that's bigger on scale is more denser in scale. It has more substance. It has more grit to it. You see what I'm saying? It's the bigger, better of that matter of it, okay? That's why it was able to exist like that, okay? And back then, I don't know if it was all the ocean waters or just water was not making it to the land mass. But we were one continent, and the earth was a true reflection of it with pyramids all over, male and female. And these pyramids, right, they had them designed to where the energy would go through the females, right, through the water channels in the underground cities. They would use that energy to do whatever they were doing back then, right? And they would also use it to cycle through our core, okay? And I know that because it goes over the mantle, right? And then it comes back out through the males, which is the males. If you look at anything in prehistory, the stone is set up to be amplifiers of charge of energy, okay? So we know that that's what they were doing. What I state, and I know this is the absolute good God and truth of it. I don't care what they tell you about Pangea being 350 million years ago. I don't know what the timeline is. I say somebody with bigger, better experience can come along and throw that together. They can get that together. But I don't have the ability right now. I don't have the info to do it. But I will say this. We were one continent. We started crossing more faithful than good as truth, okay? And even though we have an energy force field going on with these pyramids, okay, it became so toxic, right, that when the earth spins, right, let's say you got a spinning top or spinning anything, well, the earth's energy is naturally, with its spin, going to deflect most things off of it. You see, they're not going to get within a certain range, kind of like the moon is being deflected out. But anything past that certain range is coming down, okay? So we had this big rock, and I don't know if it was a rock base, I don't know what it was, but they say it was part of the heavens, and I believe this, man. And check me out. So anyways, right? They knew that this was coming to crash to the earth. You don't take and make a megalithic earth of nothing but concrete foundations and big old pyramids. Pyramids are the strongest structures and shapes. You don't have water canals. You don't do that unless you know that you have to be protected from something devastating coming at you. How do you get a whole world of people to build stuff? You can't even do that with drugs, and you definitely can't do it with money. The only way they were able to do that is because they were prepping, man. They could look up and they could see that thing in orbit coming at them for at least a couple generations. At least. Now, I can't propose to you exactly if that rock, right, mutated us, and Adam came to himself after an advanced civilization of us was destroyed, or because of that it caused Adam to be manipulated by Shiva. But I know that manipulation happened. And this is what I'm going back to with these trees. Apple trees, in the core of them, right? They are so toxic. They will kill you now, or they will cause you to hallucinate badly. Now, let's say Adam and Eve ate these apple seeds, okay? And let's say they got stuck on a permanent trip, and they couldn't state to themselves or reality what was more positive than negative to always be good as truth. Well, then they started coming out of this trip, but they were seeing devils and everything with the bad way of their trip, the negative of it, and they didn't know it. So they tried to explain it out to their kids the best they could. But because their kids weren't hallucinating, half the time they sounded crazy to them, and then it just ran all the way up faithfully through the doctrines of all things. Somebody caught wind of it, and it annihilated us faithfully. And this is what we're being destroyed from. Listen to me. Anywhere things are more positive than negative, they're stated good always as truth. They are adding up bigger and better. That's the only way anything in existence can. You hear me? And if not, they are embodying matter of a neutronic state of being, right? Crisscrossing, static, twisted, scattered, blindly undefined, to one neutral nothing of them, here and now embody a matter. Just negative of the here and now, embody of their matter. And that is a fact of God check. That is God, truth, a reality check. Peace.